Intuition. Intuition is this kind of nebulous topic that nobody is quite sure exactly what it means until you're experiencing it, and then you kind of do know what it means. Then it's really clear. But I wanted to talk about intuition today and what blocks our intuition, and by the same token, what is going to help us to increase and tap into and utilize our intuition, because I totally believe that each and every one of us has a very strong ability here, but many of us are blocked from it. Many of us are not connected to it or using it, and that's kind of what I want to talk about today. So hi there, my name is Kylie Ansett. I am the Alignment Whisperer, and I help you get in alignment with your inner wisdom, your inner intuition, your inner power, all of that stuff that's inside you that has all the answers, so that you can live with more purpose. Because do you ever feel like you're just going through life without purpose? You're just going through the motions, you're just kind of doing what is expected of you rather than what really lights you up? That to me is what living a life of purpose is. So I am all about that. And I'm coming to you from beautiful Sydney, Australia. And this is your daily dose of alignment. Okay, so let's talk about intuition. So first of all, intuition comes in lots of different names, lots of different ways of connecting with it. You might call intuition your gut feeling. You might call intuition your inner wisdom. That's kind of what I call it. But it often feels like a gut feeling or a heart feeling. It could be just like that quiet voice in the back of your mind. I think sometimes we feel that. But often intuition is so subtle that we miss it. Now, two things happen here. First of all, we miss it because it's subtle, but also it's subtle because we miss it. That is how it works. So basically, we have these intuitive messages, for want of a better word, messages, little voices, gut feelings, sometimes it's just a feeling. And really think about it, in this modern kind of, I don't know, the corporate world or whatever, how much value and how much attention do we ever put on feelings? Feelings are really these things that just get in the way of where I've got to go. So when intuition comes to us, it often is a feeling, and if we are trained to ignore feelings or to override them and do what is important or what has to be done rather than doing what is actually our intuition is telling us, then what happens is that little voice, that little nudge, that little feeling that is very subtle gets even quieter because we're not listening to it. Or let's put it another way. It's even easier to miss. It's like when you exercise a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets, and the more second nature and natural it feels to do that exercise. Well, intuition is no different than that. It's an exercise, an experience that the more you do it, the more natural it feels. But if you've never done it, and not only have you never done it, but you have, let's say you've actively avoided it and you've actually been kind of trained, and I think most of us have. Oh my God, this is what we trained. It starts when you go to school, right? This is when it starts for all of us. Oh my goodness. We're taught to ignore our intuition and to go with what is expected by, the teacher or by society or whatever. So we're taught to ignore our intuition, which is very strong when we're young. And as we get older, we keep ignoring it, so it gets quieter and quieter. And then every experience that we go on to have in life keeps us in that place of ignoring it even more. So does this make sense to you? Are you kind of resonating with this? Like you've probably had an experience where you've felt an intuitive nudge, and what's happened when you've acted on it? Because this is really the big question. When you act on that intuitive nudge, it usually takes you to incredible places, and you do things and see things and opportunities open up, and but often it's also the things that don't happen. And of course, if they don't happen, we don't know that we're avoiding them. You know, like if you follow intuitive messages, maybe you don't get sick, or you avoid that car accident or whatever. So the point is, so many of the results of following intuition are not even obvious. So if they're not obvious, then we kind of sort of devalue them. You know, if we don't have checks and balances and something measurable and weighable and, you know, that can be added up in our balance sheet, then it doesn't have any value. That's often how we see it. And by not valuing it, we're actually, again, it's like that muscle is not getting exercised. It's just getting, it's atrophying. It's just getting weaker and weaker and weaker. So this is the key. This is what I help you do. This is the kind of work that I do with people. We work on intuition. It's such a nebulous, such a kind of like it's, you can't pin it down. It is a feeling, but just like exercising a muscle, the more you do it, I swear, the more you do it, the stronger it gets. Not only the stronger it gets, but the easier it gets, the easier to recognize. And the easier it is to recognize, the stronger it gets. And then the stronger it gets, the more the more opportunities it kind of comes up, until it gets to a place where you almost don't do anything that's not intuitively guided. Now, I've just suddenly had a thought as I was explaining some of that. Intuition is not like some, like some higher being that is all seeing and all knowing, and so the pathway to your life is mapped out and it's like fate, you know, if you do this then this will happen. It's not like that at all, because intuition is as changeable. It's actually your inner wisdom showing you the path of least resistance to exactly what you want. Whatever it is that you want, whatever it is that's going to give you satisfaction, give you purpose, give you happiness, whatever that is, your inner wisdom knows how to get you there, and knows the path of least resistance. And often the path of least resistance is not a direct route. Often it's like a curvy. It often goes left when you think it should be going right. Isn't it more direct to go that way? It's not about directness. It's about the path of least resistance. And I spoke a bit about resistance the other day, and it's an incredibly powerful tool that we undervalue again. So intuition is something that I encourage you to start paying attention to start giving more value to, and as soon as you start doing that, it will start showing up. When you start paying attention to it and then following those little nudges, you will see how quickly you strengthen that muscle, and your intuition starts really guiding you in a way that is taking you to the best place, the place that you want to be, the place that's going to give you your heart's desire. Basically, is going to help you achieve a life of purpose, living your life on purpose. That's what it's all about. So that's my take on intuition. I hope you've, I hope that sparked a few little ahas for you, or made you maybe think differently about some of those little inner messages you get. And please let me know if there's anything that you want to share around this, because I always love hearing what you have to say and reading your comments. Thank you so much for playing in this space with me. I will speak to you soon. Bye.